Hello. So in this series of videos, I'm going to be using an application called Github Desktop. I'm going to be using an application called Visual Studio Code, and we're going to set up github.com accounts, and then I have a starter repository. So first thing you want to do is go to github.com. It will present this page to you where you can create a username, an email, and a password, and then click the sign up for GitHub. Make sure that you save your password somewhere where you can access it because you will need to type it in. So once you have this set up and you verify your account via email, then you'll want to go to desktop.github.com. And in this, on this page, it should automatically detect what machine you're on. So you'll want to download that. That will go into your downloads directory or wherever you have your downloads showing up. And then when you double click on it, it'll install. Make sure that you install it in your applications folder and not, you need to drag it out of the downloads in order for it to work. And then similar thing with Visual Studio Code. You'll want to download it for the machine that you're on and get it up and running. So GitHub Desktop, once it's running, will look something like this. It'll say, let's get started. You won't have this list. I'm already connected to GitHub, so it's looking at and I have repositories, so it's looking at my repositories, but you'll have this list, and we'll just save that for a second. And then in Visual Studio Code, this is what your startup page is going to look like. So let's do the third step, or actually fourth step, and that is you're going to download a zip file, and I'll put the link to this in my in the comments, but it is in, I'll just go grab it. Okay, so where'd it go? Okay, homework 2. This is a file. Okay, so once you get to this page, the link I give you will take you right here. You want to click on download. And then once that finishes downloading, it should just take a second. I'm going to show my messy downloads folder. The easiest way for me to move this where I want it, and I've downloaded this multiple times, that's why it's got that too. Yours should just have .io.zip. I like to open a new Finder window, and we're going to put this in a folder. I like to kind of have, if you have folders for all your different classes, that would be great. I keep my folder in sites. If you don't have a sites folder, you can create it. Mine is just right in my user folder. So you can right click on the top of this tab to see where you are and then move around. So if I go to Alana, you could add it here. This is like where your documents and desktop are. I have a sites directory specifically. So I'm going to open this up, and this is where I want to drag it. So the first thing you're going to do is drag it over, and then you will double click on it. And then when you double click on it, this username, you want to replace this. Whoops. So you want to like click on the folder and rename this. And it needs to be exactly the same as your username. I'm using a different, I'll show you my other account, but I'm using a different GitHub account because it's just a lot easier to handle because I already have something there. So if I go to Alana Codes, this is the account I'm using. I've already kind of pushed this up, but walking you through the steps here. So my username is all lowercase Alana Codes, and that's what I want that folder to be. So if I, oh right, so yeah, so if I look at my username, there it is right there. Okay, so in the Finder, whoops, sorry. We're renaming that to this. So I'm just going to get rid of this because I don't need it. And now that we have this renamed and we know where it is, the next step, and you can delete this zip if you want or save it as a backup. The next step is to go to Visual Studio Code. So I'm going to go down here in my dash, click on it, and then I can just close this welcome window. It's actually just a file that's formatted fancy. So I'm going to close it, and then I want to make a workspace so that I can always get back to this. So I'm going to say, I'll just say add folder to workspace to kind of kill two birds with one stone. And then I'm going to go find that DES 341 folder. So sites for me, and then DES 341. I'm going to click add. And now this folder is in here. And because I've added the whole folder, everything inside it is also added for me. So, it usually won't give you the name automatically. If it says untitled, what you want to do is say file, save workspace as, and then give it a name. And this file, right now it's untitled.code.workspace. This kind of like is a file that Visual Studio Code uses to remember your preferences and your files and folders. So you would save it right in here. As you can see, I already have one. Oh, actually, no, I'm going to save a new one. Sites. Where'd it go? DES. Well, I'll rename it to DES 341. And then I'm going to find that folder. There we go. So that's the folder I wanted. And I'm just going to save this file in here so that they're all together. Hit save. And so now that we have this locally, we want to go to index.html and we want to click on go live. So that will create this local server and it'll serve up this page. I have had instances where it's hard to get the page loaded that you want, and what you can do is if you right click inside the page, you can say open with live server and it'll open that page with live server. Okay, so now that we have this set, let's add this to GitHub on the github.com website using an application called Git. That's basically, it's built into GitHub Desktop. Or GitHub Desktop is taking advantage of it by kind of using its tools and commands. And then GitHub Desktop is kind of like the GUI version of Git. So we want to add an existing repository, and this is just sort of my shortcut to sort of add it to GitHub at the same time. So if we click on this and we choose a repository, so I'm going to go actually back to the right one. I'm actually going to do a different one just to show you. So you find the folder, which in your case will be Alana, or your username.github.io. I'll just do this one. So we'll pretend. Trying to think if this is better. Well, we'll just make a new one. Okay, so I'm going to go find this folder and I'm going to say open. And I'm going to say add repository. When you do that, you're going to get, I'll show you what the, add local repository, I'll show you what the message will be. So if I just, I'll just find some folder. Sure, I'll add the Girl Scouts. So if I say open, it'll say, this directory doesn't appear to be a Git repository. Would you like to create a repository? This is what you'll see when you do this for the first time. Click on create repository, and that is going to give you this page. You can keep everything the same, and then click on create repository, and that will get you right to where I am now. So yeah, just heads up on that. And then you can kind of see what the changes are. You won't have this long list of changes, but actually you might not have any at all because it'll probably just automatically save your first changes. But let's, I'm going to make another change. I'm going to go back to my index and I'm going to say, see this title tag that says change this text? If I go to my browser, you can see that's this text up here. So I'm just going to say Alana's homepage. and then we're going to jump back to GitHub Desktop. And the way I move around on the Mac is by using Command Tab. It lets me jump to different applications easily. So that's what I'm bringing up when I do Command Tab. So go back to GitHub Desktop, and wherever index is, where are you? We can see that we changed. That basically we removed this and we added this. So GitHub kind of uses green and red to show you like this was the old one and this is the new one. So the only thing that you need to fill in to save this is some sort of note to yourself. So I'm just going to say changed title tag, and then I hit commit to master. Yours might say commit to main. Whichever it says is fine. Just click on that. And then you should see a page that looks like this. And it will say no local changes. That means that locally, if I look back in my history, I now have this change history. So now that it says no local changes, now I'm able to say push origin. And when you push that, you will get a GitHub window that comes up. And the only thing that you'll need to change on that is you don't want it to be a private repository. So when you see that other window pop up, make sure you deselect private. And so now that this is published, I can go to the website and let's see, you'll go to, I'm just going to go to this one to show you where everything is. So we'll use this one as an example. Where is it? Repositories. Okay, so we'll use this as an example. So now you're in your github.io repository. It is exactly the name as your username, so ignore that v5. You want to click on settings. And then if you just scroll, I like to just scroll all the way down. Let's see, I'm going to change it just so. When you get down to GitHub Pages, it will look like this. So it'll say for source, it may say master, especially if you remember seeing that it said commit to main. If it says none or master, but there's no green link here, you want to click on the source and you want to choose either main or master. Like if master was chosen, choose main, and then keep root the same and hit save. And if you scroll back down, you should see either a blue bar or a green bar. The blue bar means it's working on it. It'll be live soon. And the green bar means it's live. Your link should look like, this, just username.github.io. And then see how it says this isn't a GitHub Pages site. Sometimes it says GitHub is down. But if you keep refreshing, maybe. So another trick is like if it's taking forever to load, you can also type in index.html, and sometimes that loads it a little faster. But it should, let me see if I can. Yeah, it's being persnickety. So it might take a while, but I can just like, if I go to, it basically like, it loads index.html faster than it like sets up look for index.html. So, okay, that I think is everything you need for setup. You only need to do the once you have it like this and you have a current repository set up and you have push changes, all you have to do is make changes, save them in Visual Studio Code, come over here, add a comment to summary, click commit, click the big commit button, and then click the push to origin. Committing saves it locally to Git, so Git has its whole history locally, and then pushing to origin is what pushes it up to github.com. Okay, so here is the end of the intro video. Thanks, let's have some HTML fun now.